thanks to the support as a channel member, Felix Bjorkman. Well, I am starting to feel the pressure a little bit now. I think the transfer window was pretty good, but we are required to win the league this year. We start the season with a derby game against our fiercest rivals, and team cohesion is nowhere to be seen. So if we don't start well, we could have a problem. Hello and welcome to part 18 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin, coming up on today's episode with our first two games of Season 3 with Brackley. We're at home against fierce rivals Banbury United, then we have an away game against Oxford City. Realistically, we need to win them both. We need to pretty much win every game this season. We saw last year just how relentless teams can be at this level. The two teams who were better than us last year are no longer with us, but of course we have had some teams relegated from the National League proper, and I mean Solihull in particular look like they're going to be a threat. Hereford, less worried about based on the fact the media think they're going to finish mid-table, but Solihull are definitely a team for us to keep an eye on. But I think we've improved the side that ended last season. We've got 3 players in the Dream 11. Agbinone is considered one of the best players in the entire league. We've got a chance, and we need to have more than a chance taking on Banbury, because they were the division below us last year. We've beaten them in the FA Cup previously as well. We need to send a message. We need to properly stuff them. And this is the team we're going to put out there to try and stuff them. We've got new boy Laidlaw in goal, a new look back four as well. Although, to be fair, only one of them's an actual new signing, but I don't think we've played Lewis Banks at left back before, but he's going to play left back. Craig and Davies together at centre back. New boy Camerson in at right back. Why am I playing him on a defend instruction? That seems incredibly cowardly, because we've got McWilliams who likes to be on that instruction. Right, let's compromise. Fullback support, and McWilliams will probably come on at some point. Camerson can play left back as well. We've got some options to mix things up at fullback. And we've then got Ewing at the base of midfield. Devaney, of course, returns again this season, who apparently scored his first goal in real life for Crystal Palace at the weekend. So big round of applause for Justin Devaney. Obviously, he's enjoying it more at Brackley than he is at Palace. Brackley's a wonderful place to be. And new loan signing Daffern partners him in midfield. And then the new fancy front three with our new fancy wingers, Agbinone on the left, Alpha Ruprecht on the right, and Owen Farmer up front. I have high hopes for that as a front three combination. I think if we are gonna win the league, which we need to do, I think we need to have those three click really quite quickly. And by the end of the season, we need to be talking about the three of those players getting like 60 or 70 goal contributions between them. I don't think that's an unrealistic thing to be looking for, until you remember that all three of them have never really played a game of professional football before. It's a lot of hope to put on young players, but they've got to be good. I mean, they're keeping the likes of Cabia, Beckham, Hall out of the team. I mean, that's a very good front three that we've got there in the reserves as well. So I think we should have the strength in depth to be able to score some goals this year. And Banbury just giving us a little bit of a warning shot early on. It's offside. We're not going to worry about it. It was always offside, but it is a little bit of a warning that it's not necessarily going to be easy peasy. We have, of course, lost the long throw of Ben Tozer, and we are still on a long throw instruction. We didn't try it there, interestingly, but there's 2 goal contributions for those boys straight away. It's an assist for Alpha Ruprecht, a goal for Agbinone on his debut. It's taken 11 minutes for the new front three to start doing the kind of things we were hoping for them to do this year. It's a good cross and a very good header. I mean, Agbinone's already got himself a yellow card, which isn't ideal, but that's a good header. How tall are you, young man? Only 5'10". It's a good header. And now we've got Ewing with the free kick. They've left a lot of space on this side of the goal. This could be a top corner screamer here. Ewing is lining it up. I know where he's going to aim. Has he got the I don't know the word. Has he got the ability to pull it up? In fact, he doesn't aim there. He gives it to Alpha Ruprecht, who hits the post. He's looked very lively so far. And now we've got another free kick. It's Ewing again. They've given him even more space to shoot at this time. This time he couldn't resist, but he also couldn't keep the shot down. And I now understand why he maybe didn't have the shot the first time. And this isn't ideal. Alpha Ruprecht, who's looked really lively early on, has picked up a knock and is probably going to have to come off. So we'll just let this highlight play out. He's got a bruised foot. We don't want that to get any worse. He wants to come off. He can come off. Agbinone plays it across to Farmer, and the new front three links up again. 25 minutes, 4 goal contributions between them to put us 2-0 up. And yeah, 60 or 70 for the year. It was a conservative estimate. They're getting 100. They're going to get 100 between them. Oh, this is lovely. This is exactly what we want to see. The new winger's looking great. First chance for Farmer, and it's a good finish from him. We will take off Alpha Ruprecht. Bramall can come on for him on that side. We have got Cabia down there on the bench as well. Obviously, Beckham is still at the club as well. So we've got a lot of good wide players, a lot of good attacking players. So even if this three hadn't have clicked the way they seem to have clicked immediately, we've got options. We've got plenty of option to rotate around and account for injuries and poor form. And we've just got to win the league this year. There's no other way around it. No excuses. We must win the league this year. And it certainly looks like we're starting things off in the right way. That was a weird effort for Banbury there. They couldn't keep their shot on target. It ends up going wide. And I've just had a little sneaky look at the league table, and we are top of the league as things stand. I don't know if that's because we've kicked off earlier than others. I don't know if we have, or if we're just the first ones to go ahead in our match. But we are currently top of the league, and Laidlaw making a good save. That is encouraging. We haven't really had a lot of that in the save so far. We're at the start of the third season. He's the 4th regular starting goalkeeper we've had. So it shows that, just like in a lot of my saves on FM24, really struggling to find a goalkeeper, and hopefully Laidlaw is going to end up being one that can hang around for a little while and not be rubbish. Wouldn't that be a lovely thing? That's lovely work from Camerson, and he plays it forward looking for Farmer. Can't find him, but Daffin gives it back to Farmer, and the highlight just peters out. It's fine. It's done. It's 2-0 at half time. We've looked very, very comfortable. Hereford, who I wrote off, are right up here with us at the top of the league. I think we're actually top in alphabetical order at the moment of the teams that are 2-0 up. We don't need to make any changes at half time. We obviously already had to make that early substitution. We don't want to waste any more substitutions right now. What we would like to do, of course, is grab a couple more goals so we can be top of the league. Peterborough Sports, one of my former Non-League to Legends starting teams, and we do play soon, have gone 3-0 up in their game. So they move ahead of us, hopefully only temporarily, because hopefully we've got another goal in us. Devaney is now injured, and we don't have a central midfielder on the bench. So my assistant manager is recommending bring on Connor Hall. I actually don't think it's the dumbest thing we could do in the circumstances. If we get Hall on to play with Farmer, it's an attacking change, but it allows Hall to play as the target man. We can leave Ewing and Defern doing what they were doing before and just put even more pressure on the Banbury defence. They're playing an old school, boring old 4-4-2, and now we're lining up almost matching them, albeit in a slightly hipster version of it. Sometimes you just got to go slightly hipster. Right, we're going to take off Agbinone, who, of course, on his debut, he's done good work for us today. Highest paid player in the history of the club, Cabia, can come on for him. We've given him that massive contract, then sent him the message that he's the 4th choice winger because he wasn't the first one to come on. Beckham's probably fuming. Sat down there, not even in the match day squad. And Banbury have got a potential route back into the game here. They've got a penalty with 5 minutes to go. Can Laidlaw endear himself to me even further? He cannot. And with 5 minutes to go, it's a little bit of a worry. It's Brackley 2, Banbury 1. Hopefully that's just Football Manager keeping things interesting in the local derby. But if we do end up throwing the 3 points away here, I'm going to be rather grumpy about it. Cabia has got a corner. We're into the 92nd minute. There are another 3 minutes due to be played, though. We could do with grabbing a goal here, please. Cabia really taking his time over the corner. Puts it into that near post, and Davies is there. And he does grab the third, restores the 2-goal advantage almost immediately. And that should be that. Job done on the first day of the season. We're going to try not to get too carried away, because obviously Banbury, newly promoted, not expected to do anything particularly impressive this year, but it is a local derby. So that always raises the stakes a little bit, and we looked very comfortable throughout the entire match there. So that is a job well done. Right, I'm going to play Oxford off camera and actually play Peterborough Sports next, because it's an early top of the table clash. Plus, former Non-League to Legend team and all that. We don't care about Oxford. We'll do them off camera. Nice little 3-0 win over Oxford with Ashton McWilliams picking up where he left off last year as an absolute goal-scoring machine. That guy could get 30 goals this season. It's ridiculous. He is so overpowered with those near post headers, 6'5", 19 jumping reach at this level. It's like a cheat code. It almost makes me not want to use him there because he's going to get 30 goals. But, I mean, it's right there. He is that good at it. He's that big and I'm not exploiting anything. It's just he's too good at that one thing to play at this level. And he's going to score an incredible amount of goals because of it. We have done a little bit of transfer business as well. Lewis Banks has been sold. Club record sale, I think. I'll just double check, but I think that is, club record sale. He was on the transfer list. I know we started him in the last game, but similar to Bramall, it was more to put him in the shop window than anything else. He's gone to York City, so moved up to League Two, where they've given him a little bit of a pay rise. It's got him off of our wage budget, and we're also in the process of letting Bramall leave as well. We've accepted quite a low offer for him, but again, we just want him off the wage budget. No, I said quite low, and it's going to double our record. In my head, when I accepted that, it was £950, not £9,500. So that would be nice. My director of football has found this guy, who we are now scouting. He's made an offer for him. Obviously, I'm not going to bring him in unless he gets a nice, delicious scout report. But I suspect he will, because he's a defensive midfielder, potentially with 20 strength, who's on the books of Portsmouth in the Championship. So he's probably quite good. So he will end up coming in if he scouts well. That's the key thing. He has to scout well. And obviously we need Bramall to leave as well to keep the books balanced. Then we could potentially still bring one more in. But let's get back to football. It's Peterborough Sports. It is that early season top of the table clash. We're first, they're fourth. Hereford, once again, proving in the last game that they are going to be the threat I said they wouldn't be. And the team's ever so slightly different from the one you saw in the last match, because Amiri, who came in the summer, comes in at left back, because obviously Banks is no longer here. McWilliams keeps his place from midweek at right back, because obviously, I mean, he scored 2 goals. Obviously, he's going to play. Dufern moves to the deep line playmaker role to allow Joe Knight back into the team. Cabia is going to be on the left, Beckham on the right. The 2 youngsters have started both of the first 2 games, so we're going to give these 2 a go. We will keep Farmer in up front. Now, what we are going to do is take out Rob Harley. Agbinone can go up onto the bench, and I think that's probably reasonable. But I certainly plan to be rotating a lot this season. We are part-time, and I know a lot of teams at this level are part-time, but we've got a good squad. We've got a big squad. Cabia and Beckham have been starting quality wingers for us all last season. There's no reason why they can't do it again this year. We got 92 points last year with those 2 as our regular starting wide players. So we don't have to be afraid of using them just because we've got 2 that are potentially better. We don't necessarily have to swap them in and out in pairs the way we have in this episode either. We can rotate as we feel the need to, but I think we need to make sure that we keep everybody happy. I'm looking at Beckham, I'm looking at Cabia, but also keep everybody match fit, stop anybody getting too overtired. Anyone who's ever parented a toddler knows you don't want them to get overtired. All that being said, we're now losing the game, so it's all for nothing if we end up losing the game, and I then get criticised for rotating when I shouldn't have done. But you know what? McWilliams will score yet today. He scores every game. So although the scoreline suggests we're 1-0 down, it is only actually 1-1 because McWilliams is there, and he very nearly grabbed his guaranteed goal, but couldn't direct his header goalwards. He does, obviously, because he's so big and so tall and so good at jumping, he does get a lot of opportunities, but he's not actually great at heading, so he does miss a lot of them. So you get a lot of what we've just seen in these highlights. You also get a lot of that. There's the guaranteed McWilliams goal. That puts it back to 1-1, like we said that it was before. This was the real scoreline all along. And now we've got an hour to see if we can get him to score another one. He obviously got 2 midweek. If he starts doing, I mean, he was doing 1 goal a game last year. If we can get that boy doing 2 goals a game every game, he could get like 60 goals from right back. At what point do we accept the game is broken? and decide we just got to stop doing it. I'm interested in hearing your thoughts down in the comments. I mean, that's a lovely finish from Farmer. The thing with Williams, he's not actually very good at any of the other football stuff. It is a disadvantage defensively to play him, but the disadvantage is outweighed because of the goals that he scores. Although he's actually done quite well here. He's picked himself up an assist, but it's a beautiful finish from Farmer, just threading it through the eye of the needle, past the keeper, between two defenders to put us 2-1 up and back to the top of the table where we plan to stay all season long. That is the plan, boys and girls. Top of the table from beginning to end. I feel hard done by about what happened last season. And I'm certainly not doing a 4th season in this league. So we're either getting promoted this year or resigning or potentially being fired. Keston Davies has scored. I mean, that's supposed to be McWilliams scoring again. Davies grabs the goal this time. I mean, he's no slouch in the air. We've seen him score 2 of them in this episode. It seems like after years of having a set piece coach when we shouldn't have had one and really focusing on set pieces in training, we've not changed our set pieces at all for this season. But it does seem like they're starting to click. We've got some attacking players who can hit a nice corner. We've got some big boys at the back in Davies and McWilliams, and we're very well practiced at it. And it is starting to become significant. McWilliams is shattered. So Camerson is going to come off for him. Cabia can come off for Agbenone as well. Get him another little 20-minute run out as we try and get all of these boys to the point where they can do full 90s on a regular basis. Obviously, we saw with McWilliams in this game, he played the entire match in midweek, couldn't finish this one. And I think we're going to get a lot of that. With such a young squad, there's going to be a lot of players struggling to finish matches. But I tell you what, Agbenone, that's 3 from 3 for him. And he's been on the pitch maybe 30 seconds. So I think he's a superstar. He's the one of all the new boys who made it straight into the Media Dream 11. And we need to make sure that he's on more than a 1-year contract, because he is on a 2-year contract. We might need to extend that as soon as we possibly can. It's probably a little bit early to try and renew his contract yet. He's only just signed it, so he's unlikely to get into negotiations, but we need to act as soon as we can to make sure we get that extended before he realises he's too good for us and prices himself out of it, and we end up having to let him go on the cheap because his contract is so cheap and he'll only have a year left or whatever it might end up being. Bottom line, tie him down and either keep him for years or make a lot of money on him. That's got to be the plan. Laidlaw's been beaten from the edge of the area there. It's 4-2. I think we're going to be involved in lots of goals this season at both ends of the pitch. It seems. We don't need to see the replay of us conceding. We've had 4 shots on target and scored all 4 of them. That's some impressive finishing. Beckham is having a go at a long throw. He can't do them either. We'll keep auditioning people for it. Ewing on the edge of the area, plays it out to Daffern, and he hits it. It's 5-2 now. We are a ridiculous football team, but we are so good going forward that I'm declaring us champions here and now, and we are going to race through this season. I'm not going to make you sit through like 7-8 episodes of this season of just watching us win all the time. If the next 4 or 5 matches are like this one, I'll see you again at Christmas, and we'll just do this season in like 3 episodes, and it will just be, yeah, we're still winning every match. We're still really good, but you don't need to see it constantly happen. I'll get big-headed, but you never know. We might end up struggling yet. Doesn't look like it at the moment, though, does it? We've had a lovely start to the season, and I'm delighted. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.